How do you lead up when you don't have the title? That is the right question. Write this down. The greatest leaders in history started with no permission from a plaque. Titles are labels. Leadership is fruit. Stop chasing titles. Start creating value. Say it with me. Titles open doors. Influence owns the building. Again, louder. Titles open doors. Influence owns the building. I am not here to entertain you. This is training. If you came for music, you are in the wrong room. If you came for movement, you are sitting in the ignition. Write this down. Influence is earned credibility, demonstrated consistently until decision makers depend on your presence. Influence is not a miracle. Influence is management of gift, character, and contribution. Your badge may say assistant, but your fruit can say architect. Your email signature can be small, but your solutions can be large. The room does not need your title. It needs your value. Let me anchor your identity before we teach your method. You are not an accident. You are an assignment. Say it. You are not an accident. You are an assignment. The manufacturer's original specifications are still intact. Let us make man in our image and let them have dominion. Genesis 1:26. The Hebrew word for have dominion is radar, govern, manage, take responsibility. Dominion is leadership in function, not position. Trapped in every follower is a hidden leader waiting for an environment of belief and responsibility. Write this down. Everyone was created to lead, but not everyone was trained to deploy. That is why we are here. Some of you have been waiting for permission from people who are themselves lost. Jesus said, if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. Matthew 15:14. Don't wait for a blind man to hand you glasses. Vision is more important than leadership. Where are we going? What are we building? Why does your gift exist in this assignment? When you make the vision visible, even leaders listen. I must confront you before I comfort you. Whatever you tolerate, you will never change. Leadership is born when toleration ends. Write this down. Stop tolerating your own smallness. Your culture trains you to be impressed with titles. Your creator designed you to be impressed with purpose. Your job is what they pay you to do. Your work is what you were born to do. If they fire you, your gift goes with you. That means the economy you carry is mobile. The building you can own is portable. Influence moves with you. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. Your life always obeys your dominant belief. If you believe you need a title to lead, you will sit where you should stand and whisper where you should speak. Write this down. Leadership is 80% mentality and 20% method. We will deal with both, but we start by fixing your internal government, the way you rule your thoughts, habits, and standards. Now, hear the promise. Over these sessions, I will give you 5 cross-industry, role-agnostic, results-oriented steps to lead up from any seat. Number 1, establish credibility without a title. Number 2, clarify and carry vision upward. Number 3, serve pain with your gift, not your ambition. Number 4, communicate upward with courage and honor. Number 5, build coalitions across the engine. This is not theory, this is a system. Write this down. Steps become power when they become rhythm. I want you to make a decree with me, because your mouth is a steering wheel. Say it. I am an assignment. I carry solutions. My influence is earned daily. Titles open doors. Influence owns the building. Good. Now fasten your conviction, because from this moment, we are not asking for seats, we are bringing the table. Who leads here? That is the question you must settle before you attempt any strategy. Write this down. If your definition of leadership is wrong, your practice will be ineffective. Let me take you under the hood. Picture an engine, belts, pistons, plugs, hoses, sensors, a tiny terminal wire at the battery. Who is the leader in that engine? Is it the crankshaft because it is long and central? The piston because it moves with power? The spark plug because it ignites combustion? Who's the leader in the engine? No one and everyone. Importance is contextual. Leadership is functional. When each part leads in its function, the vehicle moves. When one part fails to lead in its function, everything stops. I was told once by a master mechanic that a $4 terminal wire can immobilize a $70,000 car. Think about that. The most expensive leather seats, the turbocharged dream, the polished badge parked because a $4 wire refused to transfer power. Write this down. Your perceived smallness can paralyze great potential when you don't accept your function as leadership. That wire doesn't have a title, but it carries current. It doesn't make speeches, but it makes movement possible. Influence is not applause. Influence is essentiality. Are you essential where you function? Now let's back this with scripture. Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion. Genesis 1:26. The Hebrew word is radah, govern, manage, take responsibility, bring order. God never said let him or let her. He said let them. Plural dominion. Distributed responsibility. Write this down. Dominion is a collective assignment executed through personal function. Paul echoes this design in the body metaphor. The eye cannot say to the hand, I have no need of thee. 1 Corinthians 12:21. The head has vision, but the hand has execution. The foot carries what the head decides. No one and everyone. When you grasp this, rank becomes less impressive than role, and title becomes less important than transfer of value. So how do you influence upward from your seat? Lead in your function with such clarity, consistency, and competence that the system begins to depend on you. When your output removes friction, leaders notice. When your timing makes deadlines possible, leaders listen. When your insight prevents loss, leaders lean. Write this down. Interdependence is leverage. Your excellence becomes a fulcrum that moves decisions, even if you are not in the room. The manager may carry the badge, but you can carry the battery. If your data is accurate, your handoffs are clean, your solutions are tested, your follow-through is predictable, your function starts leading outcomes, and outcomes lead people. Practical? Start by defining your function in terms of responsibility, not tasks. What does your role make possible for others? What fails if you fail? Turn that into a standard. Deliver early. Reduce variance. Anticipate needs one step upstream and one step downstream. Adopt this law. I eliminate confusion at my boundary. That makes you a leader at your interface. And interfaces are where vehicles stall or accelerate. The spark plug doesn't boss the piston. It serves it with precision so that a controlled explosion becomes motion. Your gift is the precision. Your discipline is the timing. Movement is the proof. Say it with me. I lead where I function. My value moves the vehicle. Again, louder. I lead where I function. My value moves the vehicle. Good. That is not hype. That is order. Stop waiting to be crowned to be critical. You are already critical. Stop complaining about the driver. Tighten your bolt. If the car is sputtering, reduce your noise and increase your current. Write this down. Excellence is a volume the whole organization can hear. I must warn you and encourage you at the same time. If you abdicate your function, you make someone else's success impossible. But if you own your function, you make everyone's success inevitable. That is why heaven designed leadership as function. Let them have dominion. Them, no one, and everyone. Lead up by leading in. Honor the system by strengthening your section. Influence is the natural gravity of dependable value. When you do your work like a law, authority comes looking for you like oxygen. Now, secure that belief, because next we will address the mentality that either fuels or floods your engine. Before we talk about tools, we must fix the tool user. Write this down. Leadership is 80% mentality and 20% method. If the heart is wrong, the hands waste excellence. Proverbs says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. The Hebrew word for heart is leb, your subconscious autopilot, the hard drive beneath your smile. You don't live what you know, you live what you believe. Your schedule reveals your doctrine. Your habits reveal your theology. Your negotiations reveal your self-concept. If inside you still believe you are optional, you will show up late to your own destiny. Let me prove it with the king of the jungle. The lion is not the tallest, the fastest, or the strongest. The elephant is bigger, heavier, stronger. When the lion sees the elephant, his eyes say, that's a giant. But his belief says, that's lunch. The elephant sees the lion, his eyes say, that's a small cat. But his belief says, that's a predator. Attitude governs altitude. The lion rules because of mindset. Write this down. Your eyes report facts. Your belief assigns meaning. Meaning decides movement. If your belief says, I'm just an assistant, you will never propose, you will only comply. But if your belief says, I am an assignment carrying solutions, you will convert observation into initiative. Say it with me. My attitude is my authority. Here is a hard truth. Receive it with humility because it will free you. Leadership is born when toleration ends. Whatever you tolerate, you will never change. If you tolerate confusion in your calendar, you will lead chaos into every meeting. If you tolerate silence when clarity is needed, you will baptize incompetence with niceness. If you tolerate fear of titles, you will imprison your gift in reverence. Jesus confronted toleration. If the blind lead the blind, both fall into the ditch. Matthew 15:14. Stop allowing your reverence for position to blind your responsibility for progress. Write this down. Respect honor. Resist paralysis. I remember the first time I drove on the Autobahn in Germany. No speed limit signs, just responsibility. My culture had trained my foot to fear a number. I kept glancing at a speedometer like it was a pastor. Then a car passed me like lightning. I pressed a little more, 120, 140, 160, 170 kilometers per hour, and the vehicle was still stable, still designed for more. That day I learned, the greatest speed limit is not on the road, it is in the mind. Say it with me. There is life after the ceiling of my culture. Many of you have internalized ceilings, family ceilings, academic ceilings, departmental ceilings. You're waiting for permission from a sign that does not exist. Write this down. Environment informs, belief decides. Move your foot. Let's ground this in authority and influence. Authority is granted by men. Influence is granted by fruit. Write it down. Men can appoint, only outcomes anoint. Titles can open doors. Fruit owns the building. If your belief system is scarcity, there's not enough budget, not enough support, not enough time, you will carry a beggar's posture into rooms. But if your belief is stewardship, I multiply what I have, I clarify what I need, I deliver what I promise, you will carry a governor's posture into the same rooms. Dominion is not noise, it is order. Let them have dominion, Genesis 1:26. Then plural responsibility, personal mentality. How do you upgrade belief? Begin with declarations that retrain your lab. Say it with me. I am not an accident. I am an assignment. My mind is my motor. My standards are my speed. Again, I am responsible for outcomes, not excuses. I do hard things early. I confront with honor. I finish what I start. Replace tolerated myths with tested truth. Your gift is not fragile. It is durable. Your manager is not your ceiling. Your mindset is. Your past is not your prison. Your toleration is. Now lock this in because the next movements depend on it. Write this down. Change your belief system and you change your influence ceiling. Before we touch step 1, audit your inner language. Evict phrases like just, only, and hopefully. Install phrases like I will by Friday. And here is the risk and recommendation. The world will rise to the level of your internal law. When your heart believes like a lion, your mouth will speak like a leader, your calendar will behave like a governor, and your results will testify like fruit. Then and only then, the same rooms that ignored you will request you, not because men suddenly liked you, but because your belief produced fruit that could not be denied. Step 1, write this down. Credibility is the down payment on influence. Pay it daily with fruit, not chatter. Jesus said, by their fruits you shall know them. Matthew 7:16. Not by their business cards, not by their volume, fruit. Proverbs adds, a good name is rather to be chosen than great riches. Proverbs 22:1. In Hebrew, the word Shem, name, means reputation, memorial, the weight of who you are. Your title is a sticker. Your name is a story. And stories are written by habits. Say it with me. I will let my fruit do the talking. How do you manufacture fruit without a title? The 3 C's. Character, competence, consistency. Write it down. Character is trustworthiness when no one is watching. It is alignment between what you promise and what you perform. He that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much. Luke 16:10. Competence is the stewardship of your skill until excellence becomes your normal. Don't be famous for opinions. Be reliable for outcomes. Consistency is predictability over time. Not a miracle on Monday and a mystery on Tuesday. When character says, I will, competence says, I can, and consistency says, I did again, credibility compounds like interest. Let me make this uncomfortably practical. Micro promises are the bricks of big trust. Write this down. Be on time. Be prepared. Be accurate. On time means early with margins. Prepared means you read the pre-read and distilled it to 1 page. Accurate means your numbers reconcile and your references are verified. Stop baptizing laziness with charisma. If your calendar is late, your influence will be late. If your notes are sloppy, your name will be sloppy. Install these laws. I arrive 5 minutes early. I send agendas 24 hours in advance. I summarize decisions in 3 bullets with owners and dates. I double-check calculations before I speak. These tiny reliabilities become equity you can spend when you need to speak up. Fruit attracts. Write this down. Let metrics become your voice. Reduce cycle time by 18%. Eliminate 2 handoffs that cause rework. Increase on-time delivery from 82% to 96%. Decrease error rate from 3% to 0.4%. When outcomes move, rooms move. Publicize results with humility. No drum, just data. We piloted X. Here were the baselines. Here are the deltas. Here is the risks we mitigated. Here is the next recommendation. Honor opens ears. Clarity wins decisions. Say it with me. My scoreboard speaks. And now the identity infusion, your job is what they pay you to do. Your work is what you were born to do. Write it down. You are not confined to a description. You are deployed to a destiny. Bring your gift beyond the job description. If your gift is analysis, don't only answer the question asked, anticipate the question unasked. If your gift is design, don't only polish slides, structure thinking. If they fire you, your gift goes with you. That is why your credibility must be tied to your gift's fruit, not to a department's favor. Tool time. The 3-0-day credibility sprint. Write this down. Week 1, diagnose. Identify 3 recurring gaps in your zone that create pain. A late report, a muddled handoff, a missing checklist. Gather baselines. How often? How long? What cost? Week 2, design. Propose 1 low-cost fix per gap, a template, a handoff, SOP, an automated reminder. Socialize quietly with the people who touch it. Week 3, deliver. Implement at small scale. Track the metrics daily. Remove friction fast. Week 4, declare with honor. Publish a 1-page memo. Problem, baseline, intervention, result, next step. Thank contributors by name. Ask for feedback and permission to scale. Then schedule a 5-minute retrospective. What worked? What failed? What's next? Repeat another 30 days. Rhythm builds reputation. Reputation buys you audience. I must confront you because I love you. Leadership is born when toleration ends. Stop tolerating missed deadlines from yourself. Stop tolerating fuzzy notes from yourself. Stop tolerating unprepared meetings hosted by you. Romans says, provide things honest in the sight of all men. Romans 12:17. And Corinthians intensifies it. Providing for honest things. Not only in the sight of the Lord, but also in the sight of men. 2 Corinthians 8:21. Integrity must be visible. Make your excellence public, not for applause, but for accountability. Write this down. Excellence is evidence. Say it with me. I pay credibility daily. I keep micro promises. My fruit is my voice. Again, I am not an accident. I am an assignment. Titles open doors. Influence owns the building. And credibility is my key in every lock. Now, prepare yourself, because when credibility stands at the door, vision will ask to be carried. Now that credibility has taken its seat, vision is tapping your shoulder. Write this down. Vision is more important than leadership. Why? Because leadership without vision is traffic. Without destination, motion, noise, fuel burn, nothing achieved. Proverbs says, where there is no vision, the people perish. Proverbs 29-18. The Hebrew word is chazon, revelation, divine picture. Another thread of that verse means they cast off restraint, para. No picture, no discipline, no clarity, no cohesion. That means when you supply clarity, you supply leadership. Say it with me. Clarity is leadership. Many of you are waiting for executives to remove the fog. Hear me with honor. If the blind lead the blind, both fall into the ditch. Matthew 15:14. Don't add sarcasm to the fog. Add sight. Don't bring drama. Bring direction. Write this down. I lead up by reducing fog. You don't need a title to do that. You need a picture that people can run with. Habakkuk 2. Write the vision and make it plain upon tablets, that he may run that readeth it. Plain means legible, runnable. If they need an interpreter to decode your idea, it isn't vision, it's vanity. How do you carry vision upward? Translate strategy into one-page visuals and next steps. Not a deck to impress, an instrument to align. Think blueprint, not brochure. Exodus 25-40 says, see that thou make them after their pattern, which was shewed thee in the mount. Patterns turn revelation into replication. Write this down. When you make it visible, you make it transferable. Tool time, the vision brief. 1 page, 6 headings. Why, what, how, when, risks, metrics. Why, purpose, and pain addressed in 2 sentences. What concrete outcomes, not vague slogans. How high-level approach, 3 to 5 steps, owners implied. When timeline with milestones, not fantasies. Risks, top 3. Threats with mitigations. Courage is honest. Metrics, how we will know we're winning. Baseline to target. Put a small visual on it. A simple roadmap with lanes for teams and dates. Then add the next 3 actions and who starts them by when. Say it with me. I don't need a title to carry vision. I need clarity. Now pre-wire it with stakeholders. Nehemiah walked the walls at night before he spoke in the day. Nehemiah 2:12. That's pre-wiring. Schedule 3 short conversations before any formal meeting upstream, the sponsor or manager, downstream, the team that must do, and sideways, a risk guardian like finance, compliance, or operations. Ask each, what would make this a no? What would you need to see to call this a wise yes? Take notes, refine the brief. By the time you present, the room will hear their own wisdom reflected. That is honor in action. Write this down. Honor opens ears. Alignment opens doors. When you present upward, use respectful courage. Lead with the why. Show the 1 page. Then propose the first 2 steps you will personally steward. Sample language. In service to our Q3 strategy, here is a plain picture of how we can reduce rework by 30% in 60 days. These are the early risks. Here is how we plan to mitigate them. With your permission, I will coordinate the first pilot and report metrics weekly. You see? Not noise, not blame, sight, and stewardship. Respectful courage turns access into agreement. Let me confront a habit. Stop baptizing confusion with creative language. If you cannot say it in 1 page, you do not yet understand it. Write this down. Complexity without clarity is concealment. Your job is not to sound smart. It is to make movement possible. Leaders, listen, when movement is visible, by their fruits you shall know them. Matthew 7:16. A clear, runnable plan is fruit in seed form. Practice assignment in the next 72 hours. Choose 1 initiative in your lane that is currently foggy. Draft a vision brief. Pre-wire 3 people. Book a 1 5-minute upward slot titled Vision Brief outcome in 60 days, bring the one page printed, ask for input first, alignment second, permission to pilot third. Then set a weekly rhythm, 1-0 minute stand-up, 1 metric graph, 1 risk update, 1 next step. Write this down. Rhythms turn pictures into progress. Say it again until your heart believes it. I don't need a title to carry vision. I need clarity. Vision is more important than leadership. Clarity is leadership. When you make vision visible, leaders listen. Now sharpen your pencil, reduce the fog, and let your picture command the room with humility. Influence does not shout, it shows. Step 3, serve pain, not position. Write this down. Influence follows the relief of pain. Solve real problems, and authority seeks you. Jesus said, but he that is greatest among you shall be your servant. Matthew 23:11. Not the loudest, not the most titled, the servant. Service is not weakness, it is strategic leadership. Say it with me. I locate pain and I bring relief. Your job is what they pay you to do. Your work is what you were born to do. Proverbs 18:16 says, a man's gift maketh room for him and bringeth him before great men. Not his title, his gift. Your gift is your specialized medicine. Where do you deploy medicine? To pain. Write this down. Find the pain no one owns and own it. Pain is a magnet. It seeks a healer. Stop chasing seats and start chasing symptoms. When you stop auditioning for position and start alleviating pressure, the same leaders you were trying to impress will begin to depend on you. Let me return to the engine because it won't leave me alone. The car doesn't respect chrome, it respects current. When a $4 wire transfers power to the starter, the entire machine honors it with motion. In your organization, there are wires of unresolved pain, rework that bleeds time, handoffs that drop information, customers repeating themselves, bosses drowning in status noise. Write this down. Pain clarifies priority. If you want a leader, fix what bleeds. How? Do a pain scan. 3 lenses: your boss, your team, your customer. Write this down. Ask, what are the top 3 recurring frustrations for each? For your boss, what interrupts their sleep? Missed deadlines, unreliable data. For your team, what creates bottlenecks? Ambiguous ownership, tool confusion. For your customer, what breaks trust? Late responses, inconsistent quality. Now rank each pain by 2 scales. Impact, how much it costs in money, time, reputation, and feasibility. How fixable in 14 days with minimal permission? Circle 1, high impact, high feasibility pain. That becomes your assignment. Say it with me. I serve pain with my gift. Now prototype service. Write this down. Prototype means a fast, risk-contained fix that demonstrates value within 14 days. Not a speech, a solution. Day 1 to 2. Baseline the pain. How often? How long? What cost? Document with simple numbers. Day 3 to 5. Design a tiny intervention aligned to your gift. A checklist, a script, an automated reminder, a resequenced step, a shared tracker, a pre-read template. Day 6 to 10. Pilot with a willing micro group. Protect reputations by framing it as a test. Track the same numbers daily. Day 11 to 12. Adjust once based on feedback. Day 13 to 14, publish a 1-page result, before-after metrics, what changed, risk observed, next step request, thank every participant by name. Write this down. Service is the transport system of influence. Your solution is the vehicle. Your humility is the driver. Your metrics are the license plate. Listen to a small parable from a very real office. Raya, a coordinator with no title, noticed that her manager asked 3 times a week, where are we on X? No one had a single source of truth. Status meetings were therapy, not traction. Her pain scan called it out. Boss, frustration status, ambiguity, team pain, duplicated updates, customer pain, late expectations. She spent 2 evenings building a simple shared board, 3 columns, owners, due dates, 1 weekly snapshot. She piloted with 2 projects for 10 days. Result? Update time dropped from 45 minutes to 9 minutes. Missed tasks decreased by 60%. The client received a Friday summary with 0 surprises. She presented the one-pager with thanks to the team and asked permission to scale. Do you know what happened? Her manager began saying, "Let's do what Raya is doing." Titles opened doors. Her service organized the building. Guard your posture. Serving pain is not stealing turf, it is washing feet. Jesus poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet. John 13:5. Then he said, "I have given you an example." John 13:15. Wash feet, don't wave flags. Involve the people who touch the pain. Ask, how can I make this easier for you? Honor opens ears. Relief opens hearts. Respect boundaries. Remove burdens. If someone owns the process, bring them first. Make them co-authors of the solution. Remember Philippians 2:7. He made himself of no reputation. Let fruit carry your name, not hype. Activation. In the next 48 hours, run a pain scan, boss, team, customer, rank, impact, and feasibility. Pick one pain. Draft a 4-day prototype plan on one page. Tell 2 collaborators, I want to test a small fix to remove this frustration. Can we pilot for 10 days? Put day 14 on the calendar now. A 10-minute share out with metrics and a thank you list. Say it with me. I don't serve position. I serve pain. My gift is medicine. Service is the transport system of influence. When pain goes down, influence goes up. Now go find the bleeding and make healing visible. Step 4, speak upward with courage and honor. Write this down. Respectful courage turns access into agreement. Honor opens ears. Clarity wins decisions. Scripture says, speaking the truth in love, Ephesians 4:15. Not silence in fear, not truth in rage, truth in love. And love is not sentiment, love is order. Love protects dignity while it corrects direction. Honor the person, confront the problem, courage without contempt. Say it with me. I speak truth in love with receipts. You need a framework, not a rant. The upward conversation framework, write this down. Affirm, illuminate, propose. Affirm, open with honor. Recognize stewardship, not flattery. I appreciate your leadership of this portfolio, and I want to make your load lighter by solving a recurring pain. That sentence disarms defense. The Bible commands, honor all men, honor the king. 1 Peter 2:17. When you honor position, you gain permission. Next, illuminate, bring data plus one human story. Not a complaint. Receipts. Over the last 10 days, rework dropped from 18% to 6% in the pilot. Maria said, I finally closed my laptop at 5. Data wins the head. Story warms the heart. Both together move the hand. Then, propose one clear ask. Not 5, not vague. One decision, one timeline, one owner. Requesting permission to scale this template to 2 additional teams for 14 days. I'll report weekly and sunset if targets are not met. Write this down. Boldness earns the meeting. Clarity earns the yes. Timing is leadership. Ecclesiastes says, to everything there is a season and the time to every purpose. Ecclesiastes 3:1. Ask for 15 minutes, not an hour. Send a 5-bullet pre-read 24 hours in advance so minds arrive ready. 5 bullets only. Purpose, the pain we're relieving. Baseline before numbers. Result, pilot delta. Risk top 2, a mitigation. Decision, the single ask. Proverbs 25:11 says, a word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in pitchers of silver. Fitly spoken, right word, right weight, right moment. That's why you book the meeting after you have fruit, not before. Say it again. I speak truth in love with receipts. Let me give you language that lifts without lecturing. Begin with, in service to our Q3 objectives, here is a concise picture of how we can reduce rework by 30% in the next 60 days. That's affirm and why. Move to illuminate. Our 10-day pilot yielded a 12% decrease already. Here are the 3 steps that drove the change. Add 1 human. Customer support reported 0 Friday escalations. for the first time in months. Now propose, I'm requesting your permission to allocate 2 hours per week from ops for 2 weeks to scale this. I will send you a one-page metric update each Friday by noon. Not noise, not blame, movement. Honor does not mean avoidance. David said, I will not stretch forth mine hand against the Lord's anointed. 1 Samuel 24:10. Yet he still confronted the pursuit as unjust. That's your motto. You do not attack leaders, you attack leakage. You don't say your process is broken. You say this step creates avoidable delay. Here's a low-risk remedy and the measured benefit. Proverbs 15:1 adds, a soft answer turneth away wrath. Soft does not mean weak. It means controlled. Courage is volume under governance. Expect pushback. Write this down. Pre-rehearse respect. If they say, we tried this before, respond, yes, and here is how this differs. Time box pilot, weekly metrics, sunset clause. If they say, we don't have budget, reply, agree, this requires no new spend. We are repurposing 2 existing hours for 14 days. If outcomes are not visible by day 14, we stop. If they say, not now, ask, what evidence would convert this to a yes? May I return in 2 weeks with that data? That is courage with a seatbelt. Acts 4:13 says they saw the boldness. The Greek word is parrhesia, confidence, freedom of speech. Boldness is not bluster. It is measured certainty. Operationalize the moment. In the meeting, state the decision you are asking for at the top and again at minute 13. At minute 14, summarize. Agree. 2-week scale. Weekly Friday updates. Ops support 2 hours per week. Reassess on day 14. Then within 1 hour, send a 3-line recap. Decision, owners, dates. Honor in writing is insurance for memory. Next, keep your promise Friday by noon. 1 page. Metric graph. Risk update. Next step. Rhythms turn access into agreement and agreement into momentum. Say it with me until your heart believes it. I speak truth in love with receipts. Again, boldness earns the meeting. Clarity earns the yes. One more time. Honor opens ears. Clarity wins decisions. You are not an accident. You are an assignment. Your words are steering wheels. Steer with respect and direction. When you master, affirm, illuminate, propose, you won't need to shout to be heard. Your honor will open the door and your clarity will walk through it carrying fruit. Step 5, build coalitions across the engine. Write this down. Coalitions convert your value into organizational momentum. You can push a car by yourself or you can turn the key and let the whole engine move you. Titles might open doors, but a coalition owns the hallway and the stairwell. Say it with me. I don't move alone, I move the engine. Here's the engine-wise strategy. Map the system and find the $4 connectors whose cooperation multiplies results. In every organization, outcomes travel through connectors. The scheduler, who controls access. The procurement approver, who releases flow. The QA analyst, who guards quality. The customer liaison, who shapes trust. The sales ops admin, who touches every deal. One $4 is why I can install a $40,000 car. One overlooked connector can install $1 million quarter. Who's the leader? No one. And everyone is a leader in their function. Treat them as co-leaders, not obstacles. 1 Corinthians 12 says, the eye cannot say unto the hand, I have no need of thee. 1 Corinthians 12:21. Write this down. No silos. No superstars. One system. How do you build it? Start with a simple system map. On 1 page, sketch the path from customer promise to cash-in bank intake, scoping, build, test, deliver, invoice, collect. At every handoff, put a dot and a name, the connector. Ask 3 questions for each dot. What does this role protect? What is their greatest pain? What would make them say yes faster without losing quality? Then book 512, minute curiosity calls. Not to sell, to understand. Say, help me protect what you protect. How can I make your lane win? Proverbs says a man that hath friends must show himself friendly. Proverbs 18:24. Friendly here means useful, not noisy. Write this down. Influence networks outperform org charts. Next, practice the 2-degree rule. You don't need a selfie with the decision maker. You need someone who knows them and trusts you. 2 degrees. Identify the decision you'll need in the next 60 days. Ask, who does that leader listen to? Meet them before you need them. Offer small, visible value now. Send a 1-page baseline. Share a risk pre-read. Fix a tiny pain in their lane. Luke 2:52 says Jesus increased in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and man. Favor is earned proximity. Build trust before the storm. Say it with me. I sow relationships before I reap approvals. Now create a micro coalition, 3 to 5 roles around a single shared outcome. Title it like a mission, not a meeting. Order to cash in 30 days. 0 Friday escalations. First call resolution 85%. Draft a shared win statement by date. We will reduce pain from baseline to target with 0 loss to quality. Assign each member a lane-specific micro-commitment that takes less than 2 hours a week. Schedule a 1 5-minute weekly coalition huddle, 1 metric, 1 blocker, 1 next step. Keep receipts. Ecclesiastes 4:9 says, 2 are better than 1 because they have a good reward for their labor. 5 are better than 2 when they pull 1 rope. Write this down. Small team, clear outcome, short rhythm. Publish a joint win with shared credit. When the pilot hits day 14, send a 1-page we memo. Top line. Together we moved X from Y to Z in 14 days. Put everyone's names first, yours last. Attach 1 graph, 1 quote from a customer or frontline user, and 1 next step ask. Philippians 2:3 says, in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than themselves. Esteem others in writing. It multiplies trust. Leaders notice the fruit, and your peers feel honored, not used. That is how momentum is born. Let me make this real. Amir in ops, Aisha in finance, Lena in sales ops, and Jorge in customer success formed a micro coalition, quote to cash, in 28 days. They mapped the handoffs. Found a $4 connector, the contract name mismatch, that delayed billing, and agreed on 3 micro commitments: a shared checklist, a 1 0-minute Tuesday check, and a pre-invoice review on day 20. In 28 days, average cash cycle dropped from 52 to 33 days. They sent the we memo. Guess what happened? The VP said, replicate this in 2 more regions. No one got a new title. They got momentum. Sub-tolerating isolation. Write this down. Lone rangers die in the desert. Body parts live in the body. Ephesians 4:16 says, from whom the whole body fitly joined together maketh increase of the body. Fitly joined, right connections, right tension, right rhythm. Honor each function as leadership in its lane. Ask, don't announce. Credit, don't crave. Serve, don't steal. Influence networks outperform .org charts because trust travels faster than memos. Say it with me until your mind agrees. Who's the leader? No one. And everyone. Coalitions convert my value into momentum. I build bridges before battles. I find the $4 connectors. I honor every lane. I publish we, not me. You are not an accident. You are an assignment. Your assignment needs allies. Go wire the engine and watch the whole machine move. Now we turn moments into movement. Write this down. Sustain influence by systematizing it. Rhythms turn moments into movement. Inspiration is a spark. Systems are wiring. A spark without wiring burns out. 1 Corinthians 14:40 says, let all things be done decently and in order. The Greek word for order is taxis, arrangement, sequence, alignment. Influence without order is a puddle. Influence with order is a river. Say it with me. Systems protect influence from mood swings. Here is your weekly rhythm. 4 beats in 1 short meeting. Book it now, 22 minutes. Same day, same time, same link. Title, Influence Rhythm. Beat 1, credibility, review, 5 minutes. Did we keep last week's promises? Yes or no? No essays. Luke 16:10 says, he that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much. Credibility is kept in small kept words. Beat 2, vision brief, update 5 minutes. One page on the table. Baseline, target, current, next 2 steps. If your vision cannot be seen in a glance, it cannot be led in a week. Beat 3 pane scan. Action 5. Which one 4-day prototype is live? What is the day? 1, 0 delta. What changed in practice? Not in PowerPoint. Beat 4 coalition touch points. 5. Who needs a 1-2 minute call this week? Schedule it now. Reserve the last 2 minutes to assign owners and dates. Write this down. Meetings are for movement, not monologues. Meeting discipline is holy. Start with the desired outcome. End with owners and dates. Who does what by when? Say that out loud. Who does what by when? James 5:12 says, let your yea be yea. Yea becomes yea when a date and a name hold hands. Within 24 hours, send minutes. 3 lines only. Decisions made. Owners with deadlines. Risks to watch. Anything longer is a report, not a record. Proverbs 25:11 calls it a word fitly spoken. Fitly means right weight, right timing, right container. Now your executive update. Some of you drown leaders in decks. Start baptizing indecision with slides. 5 slides only. Problem, insight, option, decision, metric, problem, 1 sentence naming the pain and its cost. Insight, what the data and the front line say. 1 graph, 1 quote. Option 1, recommended path with 2 bullets on effort and risk. If you list 5 options, you have none. Decision, the single yes you are asking for, and the exact time frame. Metric, the scoreboard that will prove we're winning. Baseline, target, current. Align this pack to your 2-2-minute rhythm. Every Friday by noon, attach the updated metric slide to a 3-line email. What moved? What risk rose? What's next? Write this down. Boldness earns the meeting. Clarity earns the yes. Cadence earns the trust. Scoreboard time. Make progress visible and frequent. Proverbs 27:23 says, be thou diligent to know the state of thy flocks. Your flock is your metrics. Build a 1-page scoreboard tied to the vision. Top line shows the North Star, for example. Rework rate from 18% to 6% by June 30. Underneath, 3 lead measures that drive it. For example, pre-check completion percent, first pass quality percent, on-time handoffs, traffic light status, green, yellow, red, update weekly, not monthly, posted where work lives, team channel, pin, wall by the coffee, or the header of your stand-up doc. Habakkuk 2:2 still speaks. Write the vision and make it plain that he may run that readeth it. Plain means runnable. A scoreboard is running ink. Operational tools you can deploy by Monday morning. Calendar A 2-2-minute influence rhythm for the next 8 Mondays at 9:08 a.m. Create a shared doc with 4 sections labeled credibility, vision, pain, coalition, each with 2 bullet placeholders. Build your 5-slide executive skeleton with dummy text so you never start from a blank page. Launch a 1-page scoreboard with baseline, target, and space for the Friday number. Automate the minutes. A template email with 3 fields. Decisions, owners, and dates. Risks, send within 24 hours. Write this down. Rhythms, remove excuses. Templates, remove friction. Guard the spirit of the system. Systems are servants, not masters. If a meeting has no decision to make, cancel it and send a metric. If a metric is not predictive, replace it. If minutes are late, you are stealing memory from your team. Say it with me. Systems protect influence from mood swings. Again, systems protect influence from mood swings. One more time. Until your heart agrees. Systems protect influence from mood swings. You are not an accident. You are an assignment. Assignments demand order. Arrange your week so your fruit can be seen. When your credibility is reviewed, your vision is updated, your pain is addressed, your coalitions are touched, your memo is clear, and your metric is alive, leaders will stop asking for your title. They will ask for your template. And when they ask for your template, influence has moved from a moment to a movement. Let me open some windows so you can see yourself. Influence without a title is not theory. It is a repeatable play. Rosa Parks had no badge, no rank, no microphone. She had conviction. Leadership is born when toleration ends. Write this down. When you decide, history decides. On that bus, she didn't fight a driver. She confronted a system. She served communal pain, dignity delayed, humanity discounted. She established credibility long before the seat, quiet character, consistent work, NAACP, faithfulness. She clarified and carried a simple vision, equal seat, equal image. She served pain with her gift, courage under pressure. She spoke upward with honor, no insults, just a firm no. And then a coalition formed, pastors, neighbors, drivers of conscience, a movement. Isaiah 1:17 says, learn to do well, seek judgment, relieve the oppressed. She relieved oppression with one act of ordered courage. Say it with me. Conviction moves systems. Now the $4 wire, smallest part, largest leverage. One frayed connector can silence a whole engine. In organizations, high friction, low cost fixes are everywhere. A missing checklist, a bad naming convention, an unclear owner, a Friday update that never lands. Write this down. Small hinges swing big doors. Influence is often a $4 habit kept relentlessly. Luke 16:10 reminds us, he that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much. If you repair one connector, the machine honors you with motion. Look through 3 workrooms. Healthcare first. A charge nurse with no title notice, dangerous handoff errors at shift change. She ran a 4-day prototype, a laminated 331 card, 3 patient risks, 3 active meds, 1 pending decision, read aloud and signed at every handoff. She established credibility by tracking near miscounts for a week. She clarified vision, 0 surprises at 7.5. She served pain, made it easy to do the right thing. She spoke upward with honor. In service to patient safety, here's a 1-2 day result. Near misses down 40%. She built a micro coalition pharmacist. Night supervisor, 1 resident. Day 14, memo. Before, after 1 quote from a relieved family, 1 ask to scale. No new budget. The CNO said yes. Who's the leader? No one. And everyone. Techniques. A product analyst watched scope creep devour sprint after sprint. Toleration ended. She sketched a 1-page definition of done, tied to 3 lead measures. Acceptance criteria met. Test coverage hit. Stakeholder sign-off scheduled before code freeze. She didn't preach. She piloted on 2 stories. Rework dropped by 25% in 10 days. She honored leadership with a 5-bullet pre-read and 1 ask. Permission to make DOD the default for 2 squads for 14 days. Friday noon, updates attached. Clear, respectful, measured. She wired QA, PM, and DevOps into a 1 5-minute weekly huddle. Coalition, momentum, Ecclesiastes 4-9. 2 are better than 1. Nonprofit, a donor care coordinator saw a 90-day silence after first gifts. That's pain. She mapped the $4 wire, no thank you call within 8 hours. She drafted a 2-minute script, enlisted 3 volunteers, created a Friday dashboard calls made, stories noted. In 30 days, first-year retention rose from 41% to 55%. She didn't ask for a department. She asked for 2 hours and a phone list. She honored the ED with a 1-page we memo, names first, her name last. Proverbs 31:8 says, open thy mouth for the dumb. She opened her mouth for donors no one heard, and the house got stronger. Mindset moment. Some of you are staring at your speedometer, your talent, your degree, your current title, while mistaking the cultural speed limit for destiny. Write this down. Stop reading ceilings as fate. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23 gegen 7. On the Autobahn, 170 is legal. In your mind, who posted 55? Culture did. Fear did. Habit did. Vision removes limits. Habakkuk 2:2. Write the vision and make it plain, that he may run that readeth it. Runners don't ask permission to move. They respect lanes and accelerate. Now here is the secret the cases share. Write this down. Great influence is usually a simple habit done relentlessly. one-page pre-reads, Friday scoreboards, 1 2-minute curiosity calls, 1 4-day pilots, we memos. Galatians 6:9, let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. Due season comes to those who don't faint at simple. Say it with me. Influence without authority is a repeatable play, conviction, clarity, service, honor, and coalition. Again, conviction ends toleration. Clarity makes vision visible. Service relieves pain. Honor opens ears. Coalition moves the engine. You are not an accident, you are an assignment. Your assignment is waiting at the intersection of a $4 wire and a 1-4-day habit. Find it, fix it, publish it, and watch doors that titles open become buildings your influence owns. Now we deploy. Write this down. Influence compounds. When you move, fruit speaks louder than furniture. James 2:17 says, faith without works is dead. Pray, yes, but pray and move. Titles open doors. Influence owns the building when steps become systems and systems produce fruit. For the next 30 days, we are not discussing leadership. We are demonstrating it from our current seat. You are not an accident. You are an assignment. Assignments don't wait. They work. Week 1, credibility. 2 fast wins by Friday. Not speeches, fruit. Choose 2 promises you can keep in 72 hours that remove friction in your lane. Fix a recurring typo template or publish a 1-page Friday metric that no one has ever seen but everyone needs. Keep them, measure them, publish them. Then list your 3 C's, gaps. Character, competence, consistency. Where is your integrity leaking? Where is your skill stale? Where is your follow-through fragile? Close 1 gap in 7 days. Take a micro course. Pair with a peer for a checklist audit. Or tighten your deadline habit with a visible done by noon Friday post. Proverbs 22:29. Seest thou a man diligent in his business, he shall stand before kings. Diligence makes doors forget your title and remember your fruit. Say it with me. I deposit credibility daily with receipts. Week 2, vision. Draft a 1-page vision brief. If it can't fit on 1 page, it can't run in 1 quarter. Frame it. Problem 1 sentence. And cost. Baseline, today's number. Target, by a date. Lead measures, 3 drivers. Prototype, 14 days. Risk top 2. And mitigations. Acts 1 descend. Habakkuk 2:2 still instructs. Write the vision and make it plain. Then pre-wire with 2 cross-functional allies. 2 1-2-minute calls. In service to our shared outcome. Here's a 1-page picture I'm carrying. What would you add? What would you protect? Luke 2:52 says Jesus increased in favor with God and man. Favor is the fruit of pre-wiring. Write this down. Clarity attracts energy. Pre-wiring converts clarity into consent. Week 3, pain. Run the 10th of October 2010 pain scan. 10 10-minute conversations across the engine, frontline, QA, ops, finance, success, asking 1 question. What small, repeatable friction steals your week? Capture 10 pains. Rank by frequency and cost. Select 1 pain you can prototype within 7 days. Build a 7-day fix with a clear day 1 baseline and a day 7 delta. A checklist, a naming convention, a pre-check step, a shared calendar rule. Measure change. Matthew 20:26. Whosoever will be great among you, let him be your minister. Minister means servant. Influence follows relief. Say it with me. I serve pain with my gift. Problems are my pulpit. Week 4, courage and coalition. Schedule 1 upward conversation using affirm, illuminate, propose. Honor the person. Confront the leakage. Offer 1 clear ask with a time box pilot and a sunset clause. Then formalize a micro coalition around a metric 3 to 5 roles. 1 name mission, 15 minutes weekly, 1 scoreboard. Publish a we memo on day 14 with names first, yours last. Philippians 2-3 says, in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than themselves. Esteem multiplies momentum. Who's the leader? No one. And everyone, say it with me, I don't move alone. I move the engine. Now seal this in your spirit with declarations. Repeat after me. I am deployed, not just employed. Again, I am deployed, not just employed. Say, the world needs me. Again, the world needs me. Say, titles open doors. Influence owns the building. Again, titles open doors. Influence owns the building. Say, I honor people and confront problems. Again, I honor people and confront problems. Say, I lead where I function. Again, I lead where I function. One more. You are not an accident. You are an assignment. Immediate call. Stop only praying. Pray and move. Tonight, send the first pre-read. 5 bullets. Purpose, baseline, result or projected, risk, decision. Ask for 15 minutes next week to discuss a 1-4-day pilot. Calendar your 2-minute Monday influence rhythm for the next 4 Mondays. Book 2-minute ally calls. Draft your 1-page vision brief and attach it. Ecclesiastes 11:4 warns, he that observeth the wind shall not sow. Stop checking the wind, start sowing the work. By day 30, you won't need to announce influence. Your fruit will introduce you. Write this down. Move now, measure weekly, publish wins, and let your receipts preach. When your steps speak, doors open. When your systems run, buildings listen. Go deploy your gift, wire the engine, and let your influence own the building.